Asia Wilson has had the most difficult season of her career. She couldn't get the credit she deserved because Caitlyn Clark showed up.
Aja Wilson just dropped a truth bomb about the state of the WNBA, and it's not pretty. She's calling out empty seats during playoffs and sounding the alarm on the league's future. But what's really going on behind the scenes? Let's get into it.
And this is proof that her life is 10 times as hard as, to get the same credit. She's MVP of the league, I think, for the third time. She's won 2 championships. She's got a statue.
Picture this. It's playoff time in the WNBA. The best teams are battling it out on the court. You'd expect packed arenas, right? Wrong. Aja Wilson's looking around and seeing empty seats everywhere. That's crazy. This is supposed to be the most exciting time of the season, but it's looking more like a ghost town out there. The urgency in Wilson's voice. She's not just annoyed, she's worried, like really worried. This isn't just about one game or one season. Wilson's talking about the future of the whole league. It's got everyone asking, what's happening to the WNBA?
Have we not done enough to celebrate Asia Wilson? Have you contributed to her life being 10 times as hard?
Well, I mean, look, I want to be a little sympathetic.
And more importantly, can they turn this ship around? Wilson's not the only one freaking out. The WNBA just lost its golden goose, and the numbers are shocking. Yoo-hoo! Remember, Caitlyn Clark, she was packing arenas like nobody's business. Now that she's gone, it's like someone turned off the lights. How bad is it? We're talking about ratings dropping faster than a rookie's jaw at their first pro game. Let's break it down. Caitlyn Clark wasn't just a player, she was a phenomenon. When she stepped on the court, fans showed up in droves. We're talking packed houses, electric atmospheres, and TV ratings through the roof. Clark had this magic touch that turned every game into a must-see event. The moment Clark left, she took half the audience with her. Check this out. Clark's last game, it pulled in a whopping 1.8 million viewers. That's huge for the WNBA. Now, fast forward to a recent playoff game with Aja Wilson, one of the league's biggest stars. How many people tuned in? Just 900,000. That's right, the viewership literally got cut in half. You might be thinking, okay, but it's just one game, right? Wrong. This isn't a one-off thing. The whole playoffs are feeling the Caitlyn Clark-sized hole in the lineup.
How the media, namely Christine Brennan, who certainly is, and this is very important, an ally of that whole movement, is now being questioned, and how she is being a little bit too hard.
Games that should be the most exciting of the season are struggling to get people to watch. It's like the air got sucked out of the room the moment Clark left. Clark wasn't even in the league that long, but in the short time she was there, she became the face of women's basketball. She had this way of making every game feel like an event. People who never watched the WNBA before were suddenly tuning in just to see what Clark would do next. Now, with Clark gone, the league is facing some tough questions, like how do you keep fans excited when your biggest star leaves? Can the WNBA create new superstars that capture people's attention the same way Clark did? And the big one, was the league relying too much on one player to drive interest? This whole situation is shining a spotlight on some deeper issues in the WNBA. It's not just about losing a star player, it's about how the league markets itself, how it develops new talent, and how it keeps fans engaged over the long haul. The Clark effect shows that people are interested in women's basketball when it's exciting and marketed well, but it also reveals how fragile that interest can be. But the fragility of fan interest isn't only showing up in the ratings, it's playoff time in the WNBA, the most exciting part of the season. The stars are giving it their all on the court, but when the camera pans to the stands, what do you see? Row after row of empty seats. How did the league's biggest moment turn into its quietest? It's a shocking sight that's got everyone talking, especially Aja Wilson. She's not just frustrated, she's sounding the alarm. Can you blame her? These are supposed to be the games that have fans on the edge of their seats, not staying home on their couches. So, what's going on here? Well, it's not just one thing. The WNBA is facing a perfect storm of problems. First off, let's talk about Caitlyn Clark. She was like a human highlight reel, drawing in fans who'd never even watched a WNBA game before. Now that she's gone, it's like someone pulled the plug on the league's energy. But it's not only about Clark. The league's struggling with marketing too. How do you get people excited about games when they don't even know they're happening? Then there's the scheduling. Some of these playoff games are happening in the middle of the week. Who's got time for that when you're working 9 to 5? Imagine being Aja Wilson. You're out there giving 110%, making plays that should have the crowd going wild. But instead of cheers, you're hearing crickets. That's gotta mess with your head, right? It's not just about the game anymore. It's about feeling like all your hard work isn't being appreciated. This whole situation is forcing the WNBA to take a long, hard look in the mirror. They can't keep doing things the same old way and expect different results. It's time for some big changes. Maybe that means rethinking how they promote their stars, or finding new ways to connect with fans. Whatever it is, they need to do it fast. Here's the thing, the talent's there, the passion's there. Players like Wilson are proving that every time they step on the court. But if no one's there to see it, does it even matter? That's the question keeping WNBA execs up at night. Empty seats tell a story, but they don't have to be the end of it. What if the WNBA's comeback is already in motion, led by the very players who refuse to let their passion go unseen? Aja Wilson's not just complaining, she's igniting a movement that could change everything. Wilson's passionate plea has sparked a fire in the WNBA community. Players are stepping up, not just on the court, but off it too. They're taking matters into their own hands, and it's starting to look like a real game changer. Imagine this. Instead of waiting for the league to fix things, players like Wilson are becoming the face of change. They're connecting with fans on social media, sharing behind the scenes moments, and making every interaction count. It's like they're building their own hype machine, and fans are loving it. Wilson's not just talking about getting more people in seats. She's shining a light on some deeper issues, like how black women in the league are recognized. She said, you can be top-notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see. That's huge. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about representation and breaking down barriers. So what's the game plan? First up, marketing. The WNBA needs to step up its game big time. We're talking about showcasing player personalities, creating compelling storylines, and making every game feel like an event. It's about making these incredible athletes household names, not just in basketball circles, but everywhere. Next, let's talk about player promotion. The league's got a goldmine of talent, but are they really showing it off? Imagine if every player had the chance to shine like Caitlyn Clark did. That's the kind of energy that could fill those empty seats Wilson's so worried about. It's not just about individual stars anymore, it's about creating a whole constellation of them. The WNBA can't rely on one player to carry the league. They need to build a roster of fan favorites, each with their own unique appeal. That way, when one star leaves, there's a whole lineup ready to step into the spotlight. Fans are already jumping on board. Hashtags like Caitlyn back and support the WNBA are blowing up on social media. People want to see the league succeed. They're hungry for great basketball, inspiring stories, and players they can root for. Wilson's call to action is clear. It's time for everyone to step up. Players, fans, league officials, everyone's got a part to play. It's about creating a fan experience that's so electric, so unmissable, that those empty seats become a thing of the past. Alright, let's wrap this up. The WNBA is at a turning point, and it's not looking good. Empty seats, plummeting ratings, and stars like Aja Wilson sounding the alarm. It's a wake-up call the league can't ignore. It's not game over yet. The WNBA's got talent, passion, and fans who want to see it succeed. It's time for a new game plan, better marketing, more player promotion, and a focus on creating not only one star, but a whole galaxy of them. So, what's next for women's basketball? That's where you come in. Support your local team, follow players on social media, and make some noise. The future of the WNBA isn't just about what happens on the court. It's about fans like you showing up and speaking up. Are you ready to be part of the comeback story? The WNBA is counting on you. Hey, thanks for joining us on this journey through some exciting times in WNBA history. Please share your thoughts in the comments section and like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Let's go!